We've seen the awful knockoff of Jurassic World Rebirth. We've seen the dumpster fire knockoff of Jurassic World Dominion. And today, we'll be covering the confusing knockoff of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Triassic World. One thing that they all have in common is that they are made by the Asylum. If you're not familiar with the Asylum yet, their whole business model is basically making cheap knockoff movies from popular titles. Examples are Jurassic Reborn, Jurassic Domination, Alien Rubicon, and many more. I will give them credit because they also made the amazing Sharknado franchise. But other than that, all they do is make knockoff movies with names that are similar to the original and release them a week before the release of the original movie. It's not illegal, I don't think, but it is kind of a scummy thing to do, because people who want to buy or see the original may see a cheap Asylum movie instead. I'm not a big fan of the Asylum, as you can tell. Welcome to a new episode of the Jurassic Exploitation. In this series, I'll be watching and rating all of the Jurassic Park ripoffs and bad dinosaur movies. Today, I'll be going over the really confusing Asylum knockoff, Triassic World. Triassic World was released back in 2018. I don't fully know if it was released before or after Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but it was somewhere during that time period. So in all regards, it's the exact same story as Jurassic Reborn and Jurassic Domination. Jurassic Domination was one of the worst movies that I've seen in my entire life, but Triassic World was surprisingly okay. It's not good, it's not fun, it's not interesting, but it's definitely a movie. That's about the only positive thing I can say about it. And I guess the gore is also pretty good, but I can't show it, because if I do, then YouTube will be mad at me. Triassic World is directed by Dylan Vox. He is actually more of an actor and producer instead of a director. He's also won quite a few awards as an actor, which I have to mention. Stay with me now, okay? He has won Best Actor and Best Sex Scene twice during the Gay VN Awards. But that's not all. He's also picked up the trophy for Best Solo Sex Scene, 3 awards for the Best 3-Way Sex Scene, which is fitting, and 2 awards for the Best Duo Sex Scene. That is crazy. That is insane. I had to mention this. These are like Diddy type performances. Like, you don't see this anywhere else. Let's also take a quick peek at some of the movies that he stars in, such as The Rejected Luna is the Alpha. What? I Married a Homeless Billionaire, and I mean, you get the idea. This guy is a freak, no offense. Let's quickly change the subject before this video gets demonetized. The writer of this movie is Mark Gottlieb. He has worked on a bunch of Asylum movies, but nothing special. I will give him credit because this was before the time of ChatGPT, and it is miles better than Jurassic Domination. The writing of this movie is actually not bad, especially for an Asylum movie. Out of the 3 Jurassic World ripoffs that I've watched so far, this one is probably the best one, if I was able to hear what they were saying, because the music is so goddamn loud!
Mr. Hagen, this is Dr. Ovidio, our chief immunologist. He takes care of the animals and makes sure their organs are appropriate for transplantation.
Charles.
What? What did you say? Stop sign!
No, I said I'm a...
What stop sign, man? This movie was a confusing mess, and the music made it really difficult to tell what was even going on. I would try my best to go over the story, but I was genuinely dumbfounded by this movie. It's just so weird. Anyways, as always, let's do a little rundown of the whole movie.
And the closer we get to him, the faster things are going to happen. The faster the healings, the faster the deliverance, the faster...
The movie immediately starts with chaos. A body falls to the floor, not moving, but he's not dead because he stands up, and it's followed by a title card. Then they have this weird science compilation that is filled with stock footage from scientists and doctors. We then get back into the action and follow this security officer who gets chased by a dinosaur. He then does his best Chris Pratt impersonation and tries to calm the dinosaur down.
Hey, what did I just say?
I will give them credit because they actually use these dinosaur suits that you may find at like a dinosaur convention or something, and it does look much better than the bad CGI. But you can definitely tell that it's a suit, and you can even see some cords from the suit. But still, I respect them for using real dinosaur suits. The dinosaurs are not charmed by his Chris Pratt impression, and they charge into him. We then go over to some security officers eating candy. Then this woman just spawns in out of nowhere, and it turns out that she is the assistant of a wealthy CEO. The security officers are played by Thomas Stephen Varga and Joseph Michael Harris, who both seem like chill dudes. The assistant is played by Jennifer Levinson. We then switch to the CEO of this company, who is like the evil version of Claire Dearing. She is played by Haley J. Williams. They all have a long and boring chat. Most of it is incomprehensible because of the music.
Are you ready to see the rest of our facility? This way.
We then go back to the security officer that is still alive somehow. But it doesn't matter because we then immediately switch back to more boring corporate talk. The boring corporate talk is kind of like Jurassic World when Claire Dearing was explaining the Indominus Rex and stuff. She explains that they use the dinosaurs to harvest organs and shit, which is interesting, to say the least. They then move to this weird looking lab filled with dinosaurs. Here they meet these two scientists, or actually doctors I think. They are played by Greg Furman, who you may know as Colonel Bannon in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Paulina Nguyen, who you may know as J-Vo in Fallout 76, Ghoul Within. We have more boring and hard to hear dialogue, and we then meet the main scientist, who is played by Shelley Sterling. She has a discussion with the CEO, who was looking to invest in the company. The CEO is played by Joel Bertie, by the way. Again, it's difficult to hear what they are actually talking about because of the music, but the main scientist, Diana, does make some solid points, saying that these dinosaurs are also just animals, and she's 100% right.
These are complicated, living beings forced to endure invasive tests and conditions they did not ask for. They get scared and they can feel pain and they deserve compassion and respect.
Diana.
We often see and portray dinosaurs as cold, bloodthirsty killers and nothing else, but these creatures are also just animals. The only difference is that dinosaurs went extinct 65 million years ago. I guess it's just how our monkey brains work. We see teeth and claws, and so it must be evil, but I guess that's a topic for a whole different video. They take the elevator and Timo Claire Dearing gives the CEO an elevator pitch. Get it? Elevator pitch. But when the doors open, they get attacked by a dinosaur. Also, let me just pause for a minute. You're trying to tell me that this whole time, a dinosaur has just been on the loose and killing people? All while there was nothing wrong upstairs. Where are the security measures for dinosaur breakouts? This makes no sense. The security guy from before finally gets killed. Pretty gruesomely, actually. You can say what you want about this movie, but you won't see these type of deaths in Jurassic World. The CEO also gets attacked by the dinosaur, but he managed to get out of the grip of the dinosaur. Then all of the characters come together in this safe room. Here the CEO gets his wounds treated by the scientists. We also found out that these dinosaurs are Gojirasaurus,
making the Gojirasaurus ideal host for growing human compatible.
Finally, we get something different. No T-Rex, no raptors. Finally, something different. I guess we have also seen a Monolophosaurus, but they call it Raptor in that movie, so that's just dumb. A few fellas move down the stairs to do something. I can't really remember, but they come across a dinosaur who bites the bald officer and kills the other security officer. They then move back into the safe room and they have another long conversation about what to do. They then go out again for some reason. They come across the dinosaur inside of a lab and they have this whole Jurassic Park kitchen scene, but inside of a laboratory. They all go back to the safe room. Again, I can't remember why. Then the lights start to flicker and evil Claire Dearing says that Code 4 has been triggered. Before we get to know what Code 4 is, one of the dinosaurs attacks the safe room but doesn't manage to get inside. The other CEO is now fully crazy and attacks all of the others. Turns out that there is something in their bite or saliva that makes people go crazy or something. Sorta like a super rabies type thing. They all have to get out of the building because of Code 4, which will trigger toxic gases to fill up the whole building in order to kill the dinosaurs. So at least these people were smart enough to have some security measures. So all of them are now in the open, trying to find the exit, and also a cure for the bald officer. Literally nothing happens for the next 15 minutes or so. Just the characters trying to find the cure and find the exit. It's not really interesting. We also get to learn that the dinosaurs are able to read or recognize numbers or something, which is just weird, and it also just adds absolutely nothing to the movie. The bald officer goes fully crazy though, and he gets eaten by a dinosaur. There are also these moments between Diana and evil Claire Dearing, but I don't know what it was all about. I think it was because evil Claire Deering had been putting human DNA and proteins into the dinosaurs or something. We then switch to the power couple and the Asian doctor gets grabbed by a dinosaur. Dr. Jack then walks towards the dinosaur and puts a drill into its skull. This was pretty crazy. This whole sequence is pretty gruesome and there's quite a bit of gore. Unfortunately, I can't show it on YouTube. Then another dinosaur appears out of thin air, attacks him and crushes his head. The others then move their way over to the other lab, except for the assistant, who stays behind. They find out that the dinosaurs have chewed out their microchip implants, which were designed to explode in case of emergency. So it's kinda like the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World.
That's her tracking implant. She clawed it out.
How would it know to do that?
She remembered where they put it in.
Evil Claire Deering then shuts the door in front of Diana and traps her inside of the dinosaur lab. She has this whole evil monologue and then walks away, but she gets pulled into the dinosaur lab by Diana, who was able to open the door because she took her keycard. Evil Claire Deering gets eaten and Diana, the security officer and the assistant move towards the main entrance. A dinosaur then attacks the assistant, who gets killed in a pretty gruesome way. The security officer also dies and it's just Diana that's left. She triggers the toxic gases, which had a convenient control panel right next to her. The dinosaurs have a difficult time with the toxic gases, but so does Diana. She doesn't put on the gas mask properly, she just holds it against her face. I'm sure that holding a gas mask like this will not prevent the gas from entering your lungs, but hey, I'm not a scientist. She then collapses because she definitely inhaled some of that toxic gas. The dinosaurs slowly approach her, but are taken down by the gas. One of the dinosaurs comedically collapses on her lap. She then makes her way outside, where she is picked up by the police officer we saw before. She is finally safe and sound, but then the police officer gives her a bag. She looks inside of the bag and reveals a dinosaur egg, and then the credits roll.
Can you please tell me why you stopping me?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Huh?
I'm about to.
What?
I'm about to tell you.
Stop sign?
No, I said I'm...
What stop sign, man?
Triassic World was a pretty interesting movie, from the dinosaur suits to the loud ass music that makes it almost impossible to hear the dialogue. It is by no means a good movie, but it was definitely more entertaining than both Jurassic Domination and Jurassic Reborn. It is, however, still a boring movie. Out of all the Asylum movies, this one is the most entertaining one. However, it still wasn't a fun movie. Some positives about this movie are pretty gruesome gore that you would never see in a Jurassic World movie, a more interesting and unique story, a Gojirasaurus, and I guess that's it. I can't really find any other positive things that I can say about it. The story was definitely more unique and stands out, but it also wasn't too interesting. And again, the music, it's so loud. It makes this movie so difficult to follow. The characters are also not that interesting, the writing isn't great, and of course, the effects sucked. If you like gore, however, then this movie would be kind of interesting to you. They do a pretty good job of making a darker and more twisted version of the Jurassic World franchise. But still, apart from all of that, it just wasn't fun, nor interesting. Either way, this movie gets like a solid 4 out of 10. It also gets to sit in D tier. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on this movie, but I just didn't find it amusing. It could be the fact that the bad movie fatigue is finally setting in, or it could be the fact that this movie was just not entertaining. I guess I'm just kinda speechless, cause I don't think there's anything else I can say about this movie. It's just mid. It's like there isn't really anything interesting that I can say about this movie. Anyways, that has been Triassic World. Let me know if you have any suggestions for this series, and maybe I'll cover it in a future episode of the Jurassic Exploitation. Goodbye. Also, next video is Age of Dinosaurs. Just wanted to let you know, because I got a lot of comments about Age of Dinosaurs. That's the next video, okay? Don't worry, I got it.